Hi guys, my name is Aimee Cho, a golf professional, and today I'm going to take you to the next level and show you how to break 80. To break 100, you want to have consistent ball striking. And you should know how to use every club in your bag. For example, you should know how to hit your fairway wood, and you should know how to get out of the bunkers and have like 1, 2, or 3 different options for your chip shots, right? That's going to help you to shoot in the 90s consistently. To break 90 now, you need to have equipment compatible for yourself. You can get fitted or through experience, find out what works best for you, and have some kind of pre-shot routine, and you need to put a lot of time into playing and practicing to get to the break 90. And you have to have decent swing, decent short game, right? Makes sense. Today's highlight is to break 80. To break 80, you obviously have to have everything I've mentioned earlier. And your ball striking has to be great. You have to have a great mental game and equipment, etc., etc. When you're shooting 82, 3, 84, if your ball striking is kind of mediocre, you can kind of cover it up with your great short game. But to break 80 consistently, your ball striking has to be on it, right? We're gonna talk about the ball striking today. When you look at the tour players that actually have great fundamentals, and they have this thing called temporary feelings. It's more internal cue. This is more intuition. This helps you perform on the golf course according to your condition and according to the course and to the weather, right? So what is the difference between the fundamentals and the temporary feeling? In my golf lessons, I usually focus mainly on the fundamentals, which is very important, but these are more like how you grip, where your hands go on the grip, how you set up, your angles, and how you're rotating, and the synchronization, etc., etc. Those are more textbook mechanical stuff. The temporary feelings, internal cues are more being in tune with your body. It's more of your key thoughts, key words, key feelings, right? For example, you might feel like you're super flat, but when you film it up, it may be in perfect position. Or maybe you slept really well and you feel like your hips are turning. When you feel like your hips are turning, you're hitting it long and straight. But the next day you wake up with maybe like a bad neck, something is stiff, and you try the exact same feeling, hip turning, not working for you. Then you might go into maybe like lifting your hands up and you're like hitting it great. That's like your temporary feeling for the day. So your temporary feelings can vary from day to day, and it could actually not match from what you feel to what you see, okay? If you understand the difference, we know the tour players have nice balance between the two, but a lot of the golfers actually don't have that solid of a base, fundamentals, but they rely a lot on the temporary feelings. This is very dangerous because you could lose your swing just like that. So once you get your fundamentals down and you keep playing, you're building your experience, you're going to have a huge list of all these temporary feelings, keywords and thoughts. My list is about, I don't know, well over tens and thousands of words, right? But out of the list, I have a pattern. There's a couple different words I always tend to fall back to. And today, I'm going to reveal my top 2 temporary feelings, okay? All right, one of the 2 is the wing. What do you mean by the wing, right? Let me explain. I'm talking about the trail shoulder blade. When I start playing with golfers that hit it super long, I'm a human, so I start hitting it hard and my hands start yanking through. And once your hands start yanking through, starting the downswing first, it's really hard to get a hold of that, really hard to control. So that's where my right wing comes into play. I pretend like there's a club coming out from my right trail shoulder blade like this, and I'm going to pretend like I'm going to hit with this guy. So now I'm forced to rotate. When I do this, now my right wing is rotating, and see how the hands are following that lead? I literally felt like there was a club head here and I hit with that club head. You see how beautifully the hands are following that lead, and I got rid of the yank just like that. This is one of my favorite. And number 1 favorite, this is my favorite of all time, is the left inner thigh. I'm right-handed, so it's the front foot, right? Once again, when I try to hit it really hard, I fire my hips too much, and then my legs don't hold as strong and they become loosey-goosey and I start hooking and slicing. When that happens, a light bulb goes off, I'm like, okay, my legs are too weak. And textbook style is to engage your IT band, your hamstring, and your glute and rotate your hips through, but that's really hard to do for me. So I engage the middle of my left inner thigh, and this really helps me stabilize my lower body. Boom, that was really good. When I give this tip to all my students, 100%, most of them get it right away and they create a lot of power. You guys should try it too. So my top 2 temporary feelings were the right wing and the left inner thigh. I want you guys to figure out how good your fundamentals are. If they're pretty good, try and figure out how many patterns you have for the temporary feelings. And in the next lesson, I'm going to show you how you can incorporate these into your playing on the golf course, more in detail. But I really want you to try and figure out your temporary feelings. Don't rely on this guy too much. Get your fundamentals down too. Watch my YouTube, right? So to break 80, I kind of gave you in step by step and went all the way into temporary feelings. I hope you're able to follow along. If you have any more questions, please come to my website's Ask Aimee section and leave your questions and comments there. And I'll see you guys in the next lesson.